Good morning, my lovelies. Happy Friday. It's Tim Wild with an Ascension update from the woods of southern Dorset, and I hope you're all right, not feeling too compressed with these incredible energies that are coming in. And of course, Roger says hello as well. We're coming up to the solstice. We're coming up to the 21st. We're coming up to the big gateway of this year, and it was the same story last year. It was the same story as the year before. The incredible quantity of light that comes in at this time is something which shifts the template of human and spiritual consciousness into a completely different, a more upgraded vibrational space. But as most of you can probably feel at the moment, there is something a little bit different about this one. Obviously, we've been going through the changes that we can tangibly and visibly experience on planet Earth for 2 years now. So we're coming up for the 2-year date, the date at which all of this triggered and the whole process began to roll out via the navel chakra, which is installing and activating the Atlantean Ascension gold print globally for those of us that are wishing to step up and actually live at that higher frequency. Now, the 21st, as I've told the story in my previous videos, is requiring that we step through that gateway as light as possible. Okay, now last Friday I was talking about the Seraphim and the Ascended Masters. Particularly, we've got Merlin working with us at the moment. We've got Serapis Bay and anybody else that you're connected with who are just gently inspiring us, gently he says, to leave whatever we can in the way of dense energy, kind of like astral plasma material, the can't get my words out, the cords and the hooks and the attachments to 3D that we've been linked in with for so long. And even if we only just do what we can at the moment, that is enough. That was the message of the last update that I gave. So now we're here, we're 4 days away, and we can really feel the intensity, we can really feel the pressure. But that is for those of us who are resisting. Okay, the element of what I want to talk about this morning is water. Okay, the element of, or the vibration of what I want to kind of speak about is the flow with which we are navigating what is occurring to us. So there's an old Bruce Lee saying, and it's like, obviously I'm a kickboxer, I love all the old Bruce Lee movies. It's be like water, my friend, flow like water. So obviously when kind of engaging in that, what the particular martial arts style that Bruce Lee used to embody, it would be about flow. It would be about being able to feel and sense the reactions of his opponent before they actually occurred. And that is very much what I am feeling inspired to do myself, but energetically. So we've got all of this stuff which could easily compound together and grind us to a halt, so that we're tired, we're overburdened, we're overwhelmed. We've got so much information coming from all sides to kind of distract us, to bring our vibration down. You might have people around you who are seriously in need of assistance. It's the other aspect that we've got to look at the moment is how much of other people's stuff are we taking on? How much of an additional burden to our own processing have we agreed, consciously or unconsciously, to alchemize, to bring through that gateway? And it's I've spoken about this in live workshops before. When we were heading towards the cosmic moment, the 21st of December 2012, which to me feels like a very similar kind of set of energetic protocols to what we're about to go through. It's as big, you know, this solstice is as big as but then again, they all are. All of the spiritual dates are colossal, they're magical, they're exciting, there's all of these great things happening. But at the core of all of this is you and me and all of the others that are walking through this gateway. And we're doing so in a different vibration, we're doing so with a different mindset, and we're doing so with less within our bodies and fields that we no longer need to carry. And prior to 2012, we had, or many of the light workers on this planet had, a very specific spiritual contract. And in order to kind of ditch as much karma as we possibly could, I mean, I'm not just talking about our personal karma, I'm talking about family lineage karma. We had offered, under soul contract, to carry these burdens, to release for others around us, to hold their pain. It's a little bit like the Brotherhood of the Golden Robe that Lord Cthulhu is a member of. When the energies were very 3D and Lord Cthulhu was a physical human, he would wear the golden cloak, and when he ascended, when he started moving up through the kind of what we call the spiritual ranks, so to speak, gathered together with other ascended masters, and their job, the Brotherhood of the Golden Robe, is to take the pain of the world and alchemize it. Some of you listening to this might be a member of that brotherhood, or you might feel that that is your duty and your responsibility to take this pain, to hold it within you and alchemize it and turn it into a higher light. And if that is how you are guided to proceed at the moment, then that is what you must do. But for those of us who are really kind of maybe struggling to move forwards a little bit at the moment, we feel like we just literally have too much to expel, to release, to alchemize, to dissolve, then cut yourself some slack. Okay, it might on Monday, when I appear in the woods again on Monday morning, I'm going to be doing a decree, and that decree will be to lose or release all of the stuff that we are carrying, that we've agreed to carry, either karmically or subconsciously or on whatever level, and just leave it at the doorway. Okay, it will be alchemized anyway, because of the way that this light is coming in. It doesn't leave it doesn't leave boxes unopened, it doesn't leave corners unchecked, it doesn't leave the top shelf uncleaned. Everything's getting purged in order to actually function at a higher frequency in this new template. So be like water, flow like water, move through these energies using whatever tactics or tricks or ways of being that you have learned or taught yourself or practiced, to just allow these very high frequency energies to just carry us like a river into the next phase. Because we are conditioned to resist and fight things that do not resonate and agree with us. We are conditioned to rile up and form a barrier and prove, and in many cases, like especially with the divine masculine warrior souls that are kind of rising up, and also the divine feminine warrior souls, is to, like, you know, swords and shields and spear in the sand, line in the sand, resist, fight. And that is, although that is our programmed energy, that is a response that we are naturally inclined to gravitate towards, that is not, as far as I can see, the effective way to flow through it. The way to get through what the energies that are moving through us at the moment, and the energies that we are integrating with, and that includes the 3D stage, and especially applies to what we are being shown, or what the matrix is presenting to us at the moment, is just to simply wave as we flow on by. Okay, yes, this is happening, Yes, this can affect us if we integrate with it. Yes, it does affect our personal lives if we are allowing it to do so, but there is also a very high frequency flow of energy that we just simply need to, it's almost like closing your eyes and falling off the back of the cliff, falling off the cliff, knowing that there's water below you, but trusting. Again, it's something I sort of, I do like watching a bit of terrestrial TV, and there's one test in a series called SAS Who Dares Wins at the end, where literally the contestants have to close their eyes, tombstone their arms like that, and then drop backwards off this high platform into freezing cold water. And of course it's terrifying, isn't it? It's one of these things that lights up every single alarm bell within the human body and all of the fields. Is the fact that, like, you know, you have seriously got to trust and take that deep breath and do it. And I really see that this is what we're being asked to do at the moment. The analogy is so mirrored, to just simply flow with this energy, to go with it, to see where it is taking us. Because once we've committed to that high pathway, the high road that the seraphim have laid out for us, it's a case of trusting the universe. Every single red flag from 3D is telling us not to trust. It's telling us that we're in trouble. It's telling us that, you know, if we don't take action, if we don't fight, if we don't use our resolve and our will, that we're going to be taken into a space where we no longer have control over ourselves. But that's not what we've signed up to do. We've signed up to flow with the river. We've signed up to move into a vibrational space within which creation, thought, manifestation, reality, the process of manifestation, the actual true art of creation is much higher, it's much finer. The heart space that we live in at 5D, when we're truly in 5D, you know, some of us will have parts of the day where we bounce in and out of it. One minute we're feeling like, oh, love and light, and the next minute we're like, oh my God, you know, I want to kind of dive into a tub of Ben and Jerry's or beer or whatever floats your boat, sort of thing. And that is the ping pong effect of where we are. And it's not going to stop tomorrow. It's not going to stop next year until we cease to allow that energy to ping pong us in that way, in that variety, that manner. So essentially it comes down to the core factors of self-discipline, the self-discipline spiritually that we apply to our bodies, our fields, our minds. The minds are the biggest factor at the moment. The mind, the mental body, is very much being kind of triggered by the emotional body. The emotional body is having all of this karmic stuff come up, all of the shadows, all of the prompts, all of the old Akashic just dross that we can no longer actually function by. We can't drag it around with us anymore. If you imagine yourself as like you've been walking around for tens of thousands of years with a chain over your shoulder and a big bag of stuff, and every time you have an incarnation, that bag of stuff gets bigger, or an incarnation on Earth anyway. And so by the time we've got to here and now, the bag is at maximum density, and we're releasing it. You know, instead of it just like, oh well, I'll take that and I'll take that. Anything that vibrates at that frequency needs to be cut off, and it needs to be left behind. It needs to be cleared. It needs to be alchemized. And very much reminds me, I've been seeing it constantly this past week, is there has been an incredible, what looks to me to be a wildfire that is spreading through the astrals, spreading through the lower Akash, anything which holds these vibrational frequencies that link us to the old matrix, like bind us down. This is why I believe that 2022 is so important, because we are consciously choosing to release all of this, and we are consciously choosing to step into these higher gateways. But as most of you will realize, it's not just an overnight process. It's not something that you can just like cut off, bye-bye sort of thing. Many of us are having to now go through that shadow process of actually facing the things that we've locked away, the things that are actually really kind of manipulating the wiring in our everyday engagement. Because in order to function at this 5th dimensional frequency, we have to change all of the wiring all the way back so that it is all running at a pure clear frequency, and there's no distortion in what we wish to we choose to create for ourselves. It's actually, when you think about it, when you're stepping into this higher frequency, it's simply requiring the level of honesty and clarity that you would have as if you were communicating with an angel. So, you know, like if you were sat here talking to your guardian angel, you could be speaking, so you could be saying whatever you wanted to present, but your angel would be able to read between the lines. It would be able to see the energy, be able to see the sadness or the karmic chains or anything that might be bogging you down, or it will certainly be able to tell immediately simply by the resonance of your vibration, or even the color of your words, the color of the voice that you are speaking, whether you are speaking the truth from your heart or not. So that is another huge part of what we are experiencing, is the movement into true integrity, the movement into true clarity, into true truth. We're not being honest with ourselves. We're not being honest with the vibration that we are choosing to move into, and that will conflict with these 5D vibrations. This commitment that we've all made together to move into this higher frequency, it is only now that we're really beginning to see just how intricate the whole movement process is, because we can't take it with us. If it doesn't vibrate at that 5th dimensional benchmark, then we can't take it. We can't kind of sneak it. All right, okay, I'll sneak this in my back pocket and like kind of walk through the gateway with it. No one's going to notice. That vibration will pick it up straight away. It's a little bit like walking through the airport. The scanner's like, here you go, that needs to go, doesn't it? We're going to release that, and yeah, it might be a little bit painful while you do it, but you'll be better off without it in the long run. So all of that is occurring at the moment. This is why, and this is where we are. And my hand on my heart, I really, and I'm saying this, I believe that all of you have done so incredibly well to get to this point. If you're listening to me this morning and you can understand what I'm talking about, if you know this process for yourself, if you're feeling it, and you know that we are moving forwards, and you know that what we have got to, we've still got lots of work to do ahead of us, but we're going to be doing it on a platform or a playing field which is far more suitable for us than it was previously. Yes, the matrix will continue squawking, and it will continue doing what it does, and it will be throwing up all of these things in order to kind of alarm us and draw us back in and maybe restrict what we're doing. But for my information, that scenario is only temporary. It will continue until the collective consciousness of humankind allows it to do so. And that is why it's this again, as I've said previously, this is why we feel like, oh, you know, like why can't everybody wake up? Why can't everybody see the truth? Why can't everybody just see what's going on? And of course, you know, we're waiting for the stragglers. We're waiting for the people who might not have agreed to wake up until now on their soul contract. They might not have they might be really struggling to wake up and bring themselves out of the hypnotic state that is holding so many people on this planet solidly in that 3rd dimensional frequency at the moment. I personally believe that they're fairly rare, but there are still, unbelievably, people walking around on this world at this moment who aren't aware. They're not aware of the fact that there is a huge spiritual kind of upgrade and movement. They just think that everything that's going on is as the news tells them. And of course, you know, so many of us are feeling angry towards these people now. They're like, why, you know, like, you are the ones that are preventing this higher flow and movement. But they're not. all we've got to do is do what we have got to do. Okay, we keep holding the light, we keep holding our hearts open. Our personal process, what we do for ourselves, is the trigger that will send that shockwave of bright golden light around the planet every single time we step up. Every time we move our vibration into a higher state, that has a knock-on effect. Okay, the power of our open heart, the power of the heart center, is the most powerful force that you could possibly ever have within your Ascension toolbox on this planet at the moment. And you know, numbers, figures, whatever kind of thing, but you as an individual sat here listening to this, with if you engage the world around you via your heart center, and you are consciously projecting that fifth dimensional frequency, I think somebody said it was, you have the power just on a normal everyday, you know, flowing through your life, to wake up 750,000 people. And of course, you know, for each one of us that are doing this consciously, we're moving consciously, we're working consciously, we're actively embodying the power of our mighty I Am presence. That is a vibration that we can no longer walk away from. We can't go backwards, and it is just simply triggering and waking up everyone and everything around us, so they will catch up. Okay, those that have chosen to catch up will catch up. Might be next year, might be the year after. That's not down to us. It's not our responsibility, although we feel that it is, to shake people awake. They will only see when they are ready to see, and the vibration within their bodies and souls has reached that optimum pitch where all of a sudden the veil that has come away from their third eye actually clears completely, and the third eye begins to see and understand and function at a fifth dimensional frequency. That is the way that this works. So be like water. Flow with what is going. Flow with the waters of Neptune, as well as the huge quantity, or the yearly deluge of cosmic Christ light that's coming in. There is a lot of water. There's a lot of very high frequency water energy that is coming in from ascended Neptune. And this I stepped down to this incarnation via Neptune. I'm very tuned into it. I love it. That beautiful aquamarine kind of sea blue light that comes in. We're integrating a lot of that into our bodies and fields at the moment. And had the most wonderful workshop with Mir Kafkios a couple of days ago, where we went back into the Temple of Poseidon again, the Atlantean Temple of Poseidon. And literally, it's almost like ringing the bell for the golden age. The great crystal activated at a higher frequency, and which is now sending out the resonant pulse of light around the planet to all of the crystals, to all of the heart centers, everybody who's aligned with this new frequency. And so the process is really beginning. In order to be in harmony and aligned with that, we need to flow. So that is the emphasis of what I am speaking about this morning. Flow like the waters, flow like the river, be like water. Just immerse yourself into it. Know that everything that's happening around you is happening for a higher reason. And most of all, trust. Trust from your heart. Don't trust from your head. Okay, the head will tell you other things. It will tell you wonky things. It will tell you that everything could go wrong. Okay. Right, the ego is no longer in charge, and the ego doesn't like it. That's why everybody's ego is very shouty at the moment, very shouty online, very shouty in politics, very shouty everywhere, really. And because it's come up to defend itself, it's like Custer's last stand. So trust via the heart. Okay, if something's being presented to you that you need to double check. Because that's what we all should. We should always check our sources. We should always check the information that we're receiving. We should always, it's the oldest thing. It's one of the first things that I was taught, is don't ever take anything that's given to you on face value. Okay, don't just immediately trust whatever you're given. Check it. Okay, if you're not sure about something, take it into the heart center, feel it. Okay. feel it within your heart center, and that will immediately tell you whether it's right for you or whether you need to be going off in a different direction. Okay, so here we are. Got meditation Monday, which will be I'm going to do a decree to release everything that we no longer need to be holding on to, that doesn't belong to us. Obviously we have to process our own stuff, we have to go through that, but this burden, this baggage, this almost like this consciousness of the Brotherhood of the Golden Robe, where we take other people's burdens and pain on for ourselves. Obviously that is now a choice, but many of us are doing this without consciously realizing that we're doing it, and it's causing an incredible amount extra for us to deal with, particularly at this moment in time. Place it in the Golden River. Okay, the Golden River of light that is flowing through every single thing that we are doing at the moment. Tune yourselves into Ascended Neptune, Tutele, and just allow this water energy to move through the cells of your body, through you, everything you're doing, and let it wash you through this Ascension gateway. And of course, David Esri and I will be coming together on the solstice with a beautiful workshop to honour and bring this energy in to anchor it. So hope to see you there. Lots of love. Bye for now.